Welcome to the Shit Slinky Made Me Watch. I'm your host, KC, here with another shitty review about shitty horror films recommended by that sumbitch Slinky. Here to talk to you about Cheerleader Massacre, Part 2. It was released in 2011, and this one starts out with a bus ride with a whole cheerleader squad, and they run into some type of flying saw. This saw had like 3 different blades on it. It's flying all over the place. Ends up going around and just slicing everybody up, and some terrible, terrible CGI. But the movie does start off with a bang, with a bunch of kills. And then it moves on to this young girl that's there talking to her father about how she's getting ready to go away to this cheerleader camp. And basically it's a bunch of different cheerleaders that are selected to be on each team, the red and blue team, to basically be going against each other. See who's going to move on to the finals and go to like the state championship or state tournament, something along those lines. Doesn't really matter. Because they never fucking get there, of course. This is a slasher type film in a way, but not really. It's kind of sci-fi, if you will. It's not really a slasher, but the original was. So this one kind of went off to like another direction. A little bit later on, there's a couple of businessmen there in an office talking about how the prototypes that they've been making have been stolen. And then some type of weird looking metal spider thing starts like walking around the room and ends up killing one of them. And then of course we end up having a shower scene. You gotta have one of those in this type of movie. But this one was a very long shower scene with 2 girls and lots of tit shots and a lot of tit rubbing and just tits all over the place. Which in this type of movie you gotta have it, or you're just gonna be pretty bored. Gotta have good kills and a lot of tits, and it's Cheerleader Massacre, so of course you're expecting to see plenty of them. And this one you do see a good amount. And then there was this one young lady that ended up missing. Well, young lady. She was the nicest out of the bunch. But back to what I was saying, she basically has missed the bus ride and couldn't get there with all the other girls. So her friend is basically giving her a ride to this cheerleader camp. And there's a car like broke down the side of the road or whatever. She's like, oh, let's help him out. And she's like, well, you might not know this story about, this guy that helped him out or got out to try to help people out or whatever. Basically explaining this story to her and how they ended up getting killed. And in that part of the story, there was a pretty awesome power drill kill. That one did look pretty good. I did like that scene and that kill. They both were nice. They really were. The CGI, I didn't really see it as bad with this scene compared to the rest of the movie. So it's probably the best kill in the entire movie. And then once again, back to the shower. And this time, we had a pretty stupid, like, electric shock kill when this girl like grabs the shower head and just gets shocked to death. And once again, some terrible CGI. This movie is just covered in shit when it comes to the CGI. Damn! I guess it's time for the shit break. Now, if you don't know what the shit break is, this is where we take a quick break in the show to allow you to get your thoughts or comments onto the show. All you have to do is comment on the discussion thread posted in our Facebook group, Horror After Midnight. You'll be able to get your thoughts onto the show. Also, there is a weekly meme contest. All you have to do is make up a meme about this week's show and post it in our Facebook group using the hashtag SHITBREAK. You'll be entered to win all kinds of cool prizes. There is no winner this week, but we do have a couple of comments. First up, we have Junior McLean. Even I can do that in Photoshop. He's basically talking about how shitty the poster was. It just looked terrible. Looked like basically it was just photoshopped crap with some blood and shit. It just looked terrible. So I definitely agree there. Junior, it looked terrible. And next up we have Aaron Poe. What the fuck? There's a part 2. Yeah, there definitely is. And I'm sure you're probably going to go check this one out. And also he says, always enjoy your content, Casey. I really appreciate that and appreciate the support, and thank you for checking out the show, as always. And anyone else that has not ever checked him out, go check out Aaron Poe. He's got his own podcast and everything. Great stuff over there. Well, let's get back to the show. While a couple are having sex, this damn robot spider thing again comes walking in there and ends up killing them while having sex. So you do get a sex scene, but it doesn't really last too long because they end up getting killed by this robot spider. Terrible CGI throughout this whole damn thing. Um, it'd been better if they could have used something more realistic, maybe, or made real. They just splash in some computerized robots to kill people. It's fucking stupid. But after that, everyone starts like noticing that people are like missing, so they all go out to go search for them in the middle of the woods at night with a flashlight. As I, you're not able to see shit at night with a flashlight. It just, to me, didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But it's a shitty horror film. It's not supposed to make sense. It's just tits and blood, and here you go. After the girls, they have some of their boyfriends show up, which wasn't a great idea. I mean, there's some sex that happens or whatever, but for their sake, one of them is out there in the woods and some kind of thing goes off, some type of trap or something, and ends up splitting this guy straight in half, which was pretty cool to see. A little bit later on, they were finally able to call the cops and get them out there, but one of them notices that some stuff's going on, and he finally sees this flying spider robot thing and shoots it. So he runs back to his squad car to try to call for backup or whatever. Doesn't notice one of them got inside the car with him, and he gets a very bad tan. Basically, this robot thing just puts up some really bright lights and burns this guy's skin off of him. That was kind of cool. And to try to get some help, this news anchor woman that's there, she tries to go live on her, TV news station or whatever, to try to get some help. But the people were more worried about missing their hockey game than some people getting killed out in the middle of the woods or at cheerleader camp or whatever. So that really did no good at all. But at the very end of this movie, there was a pretty cool twist. There really was. That's probably about the coolest thing about the whole movie. Besides, there's loads of tits. If you're into tits and blood, this movie is definitely something for you. Um, if not, definitely something you might not like. This one's more one maybe hang out with some buddies or whatever, having a few drinks, and just something just to watch and kick back and just enjoy and have fun. Definitely not a movie to take serious at all. But for this one, we have 25 dead bodies and 12 breasts. For this one, I give it 2 shit stains. Case says check it out. I'll be back next time to do a commentary on avalanche sharks. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Stay classy, folks.